Hey guys, so I'm going to help you do some of these, and it says Joni Miller has a credit score of 820. She applied for a $150,000 loan for 30 years and her interest is 3.14. Okay, and then it says that the monthly payment is $643. Okay, so I want to know how much he's going to pay in 1 year and then in 5 years. Okay, so we're going to multiply 643 times 12 because there's 12 months in a year. Okay, and I'm going to get 7,716. Okay. Now, I also want to know how much in 5 years. So if she paid 7,716 in 1 year, then I can multiply that by 5, and I'm going to get $38,580. Okay, so this is how much she's going to pay in 1 year. This is how much she's going to pay in 5 years. Okay. Now, just like before, I'm going to just show you how to do it, but I'm not going to actually give you the answers. So for number 1, it says Alex White's credit score is in the table below. What is the difference between Alex White's credit score and Joni Miller's credit score? So if I want the difference, then that means I have to subtract. Okay? So the credit score over here was 820 and this is 625. So you have to subtract and then you get your answer. Number 2, it says Alex White applied for a $150,000 30-year mortgage. The interest rate and monthly payment are shown in the table. How much will Alex pay in 1 year? Again, so I need the 1 year and then I need the 5 years. Okay, so go ahead and cross this out. This is the monthly payment. Okay. So again, this is like the same thing that we did up here. Okay. So we're going to start with $780 times 12. Okay. And then whatever you get here, you're going to multiply this number, times 5, and then you should get your answer. Okay. Now, number 3, it says how much more will Alex pay than Joni in 1 year and then in 5 years? So we have to subtract how much did she pay in 1 year. Okay, so that was here. You have to use the answers that you got here and subtract that minus 7,716, and then over here minus the number you got over here, which is 38,580, and subtract whatever you get here minus this and then minus that, and then you should get your answer here. So for number 4, which of the following is likely the reason that Joni got a better interest rate? Okay. So look for these and check out the one that's correct. Okay. On the back, okay, so it says which applicant is more likely to have the best. Okay, so if we're looking for the best credit score, okay, then look for the lowest interest rate. Okay, so look for the lowest interest rate and then pick your answer. And then number 6, look for the one that is true. Okay, So look for the one that is true and pick your answer. Number 7, it says, which is the best reason to have a positive credit history? Okay, positive. So look for the one that's true. Number 8 says, which action will help establish a positive credit history? So we're looking for positive. Which one will be good? Okay. And then number 9, it says, which is the person that's going to get approved? So here I want you to look for the highest credit score. Okay, so look for the highest credit score. That should be your answer. And the last one, number 10, you're looking for the one that is true. Okay. Alright, go to the next page. So for this one, we have to, it says, the higher your credit score, the lower your interest rate on the loan. Slav's credit score is 650. And then it got increased by 10%. Okay, so we need to increase by 10%. And then what's the new credit score? Okay, so if we want to increase by 10%, okay, we have to make a proportion. So we have 10% out of 100. Okay, you have to simplify. So divide by something. Divide by something. I'm going to give you the answer already. 10. So if you divide by 10, you get this. And then you're trying to get to 650 here. So you're looking for, this is the number that you're looking for. Okay? So then you're going to add 650 plus whatever you get here. You're going to add it here. Add that together, and then you should get your answer here. Okay? Now, after you add this, you have to look for what you get here. I'm going to go ahead and do it for you. So 10 divided by 10 is 10. 100 divided by 10 is 10. And then times 65. 10 times 65 is this. So this times 65 is going to be 65. So 65 goes here. And then we have 715. Okay. So if you look for which one's going to be 715, well, it's going to be this one. Okay, so if you increase it by 10%, then you can get this. Okay. Alright, and you're actually going to have to use this little table for like every problem. So you need to make sure that you're going to be looking back for it. Okay. So for number 1, it says Miranda's credit score is 884. How much does Miranda have to increase her credit score to have a monthly payment of 650? Okay, so if I want 650, that means I have to have at least 760. That's the smallest. So you're going to have 760 minus 684, and then you get your answer. Over here, Miranda's payment is 650. How much interest does Miranda pay in order to pay off her debt? Okay, so for this one, we actually have to do a couple of things. Okay, so first, I have to multiply 650 times 12. Okay, so then that's going to give you how much you get in 1 year. Okay, so whatever you get here. Then, whatever number you get here, you're going to multiply that number times 30, okay? Because remember, you have a 30-year mortgage, 30-year, okay? So you multiply this number times 30, and then you get another number over here, okay? All right? And then you're going to take this number and subtract it from what did you borrow? Well, you borrowed $150,000 from the bank, so you have to subtract that. So whatever you get here minus this, and then you get your answer. Okay. All right. Turn it over. Number 3. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that it's not C and it's not D. Okay. So if you have a credit score of 650, okay, but you want to pay $660. So that means you're going to go over here, check. So if you want to pay $660, then that means you have to have at least 700 or more. 700 or more, okay? So what you're going to do is I'm going to change the percents to a decimal. So this is 0.06. Multiply it times 650, okay? Equals something. You're going to get a number right there. Then you have to add that plus 650, and you're looking for the one that's bigger than 700. Okay. Do the same thing here. 0.08 times 650 equals a number. Okay. Then you're going to add that number plus 650, and that number has to be bigger than 700. So whichever one is bigger than 700, that's going to be your answer. Okay. For number 4, okay, for number 4, all you got to do is add up the total. So add all these up, okay, and then after you add it up, you're going to look over here and tell me, okay, which one is it and how much are you going to pay, okay. So you're going to look for the credit score. How much did you pay? Okay, that's going to be your answer. Number 5, same thing. I'm going to cross out 2 of them for you. Over here, again, same thing. Change it to a decimal. Multiply by 625. And then you're going to add that number plus 625, and this time it has to be bigger than 660. Okay, so 0.065 times 625 equals a number. Then you add that number plus 625, and whichever one's bigger than 660, then that's your answer. Which one has to be bigger? Okay. Number 6. Okay, again, add up the total. Okay, so you add up the total, and then again you have to go turn the page, look over here, okay, look for which one it is, and then which interest rate you're going to get, okay, which interest rate are you going to get, okay. And then the last one, number 7, says Lauren has to use an online calculator. How many points does she need for the payment history so that her payment has, okay. Alright, so what you're going to do is, if you want the payment to be 674, okay, so I'm going to look over here. So 674 over here. Here it is. Okay. So if you want it to be 674, that means it has to be at least 680. So what you're going to do is subtract 680 minus, add all these up, and then subtract it by that, and you get your answer over here. Okay. Alright, and the last page is this one. Okay, the last page. So it says calculate and compare lifetime incomes for the food service manager and the forester. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, let's say this person is going to work for 30 years. Okay, so I want to know how much did they make the entire time. So for the food you're going to multiply 52,620 times 30, okay, because that's how many years they worked, and then you're going to get 1,578,600, okay? So that's for the food manager. And then for the forester, you're going to get 56,130 times 30 again, because they both worked that much. And this person is going to make 1,683,900, okay? And then it says, how much more does this one make than the other one? So I have to subtract them. So 1,683,900 minus 1,578,600. Subtract that, and you get $105,300. Okay. So this is how much they made in their whole life, and then this is how much more this person made than this person. Okay. So for number 1, it says if the food service manager worked 32 years instead of 30, so we have to multiply 52,620 times 32. Okay, so you have to do that. Then you're going to subtract whatever number you get here. Okay, so this person made 1,683,900 minus whatever you get here. So you subtract that, and then you get your answer. Okay. And for number 2, it says, what is the difference between the monthly salaries of the food service manager? So for this one, you start with 56,130 and then divide by 12 because they want monthly. Okay, and then over here you have to also do 52,620 and divide this by 12. Okay, and then you're going to get a number here and a number here, and you have to subtract those numbers. Subtract whatever you get here minus whatever you get here, and then that's going to be your answer. Okay. And for number 3, it says, how much lifetime income will a person make if he works for this food service for 10 years? So the food service was 52,620. I'm going to multiply that times 10, okay? And then the forester for 15, so 56,130, and I'm going to multiply that by 15, okay? So you're going to get a number here, and you're going to get a number here. Okay, then you have to add those numbers together, okay, and then you get your answer. Number 4 on the back. It says, assume a loan officer works for 30 years in his lifetime. What is the minimum number of years a surveyor would have to work to make as much? Okay. So for this one, you have to multiply 67,960, okay, times 30. You're going to get a number here, okay. Then you're going to take whatever you get here, that number, divided by what this person makes, so 58,740, okay, and then you're going to get your answer here, okay. Now you need to round up, okay, because you're going to get a decimal, so you need to round up, okay. Alright, for number 5, how much more is the lifetime salary of a microbiologist than a budget analyst, okay? And then they're worked for 35 years. So again, 71,720 times 35, okay? Then 71,450 times 35, okay? So you're going to get a number here, you're going to get a number here, and then you have to subtract those. So you subtract that, and then you get your answer. Number 6, it says Noah wants to become a landscape architect with an average annual income of $66,520. If Noah starts working at age 18 and he works until he's 65 years old, what is his lifetime income? So first I have to know how many years did he work. So I'm going to subtract 65 minus 18. Okay, so I get 47. Then I have to multiply 66,520 times 47, and then you should get your answer. Okay. And then over here, number 7, it says, how much more money in dollars does a database administrator make than a statistician if both have 30 years career? Okay. So you have to do 77,350 times 30 equals, and then 77,280 times 30 equals. So you're going to get a number here, and you're going to get a number here, and then you subtract those. Okay, and then you get your answer. For number 8, it says, what is the difference between the average hourly salaries of a database administrator and a statistician? Assume they both work 40 hours a week for 48 weeks in 1 year for 30 years. Okay, so for this one, it's got a lot of work, so I'm just going to make it a bonus. Okay. Okay, so if you get it right, you get candy tomorrow and extra points on your test on Friday. You're going to have a quiz. So on number 9, it says Parker worked as a physician for 30 years. His wife Molly worked as an aerospace engineer for 35 years. Their lifetime salary are shown in the tables below. Who had the highest annual salary? How much more did they make annually? Okay, so you have to divide 3,635,450 divided by 35. Okay, then do the same thing with the other one, 3,362,700 divided by 30. Okay, so that should give you their numbers here, and then you subtract them. Then you get your answer. Alright, so make sure you have all this down. Please show your work. If you use an extra sheet of paper, you must bring it to class tomorrow. Thanks.